Good evening, everyone. Let me call to order this meeting of the West Palm Beach City Commission. Today is Monday, July 22nd, 2024, and the time is 5 p.m. We will start this meeting off, as we do all of our meetings, with a moment of silence, please. Commissioner Warren, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? All right. We will remind everyone of the rules of civility and decorum which govern this body and this meeting. Officials shall be recognized by the chair and shall not interrupt the speaker. Public comment shall be addressed to the City Commission as a whole and not to any individual on the dais or in the audience. Displays of anger, rudeness, ridicule, impatience, lack of respect, and personal attacks are strictly prohibited. Unauthorized remarks from the audience, stamping of feet, whistles, yells, and similar demonstrations should not be permitted. Please govern yourselves accordingly, as offenders may be removed from the meeting. Also, any person wishing to speak at this meeting shall complete a comment card for each agenda item the person wishes to address. That card shall include the person's full name, address, and the numbered agenda item, and it will not be recognized if the comment card is not completed in full. Thank you. Ms. Johnson, are there any additions, deletions, reorganization of the agenda?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Very good. Thank you. We will now look at the consent calendar, items 6.1 through 6.7. Commissioners, any comments, questions on items 6.1 through 6.7, consent? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 7.1, public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 5103-24, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of West Palm Beach, Florida at Chapter 94, Zoning and Land Development Regulations, providing an application process and incentives for qualifying affordable and workforce housing projects.
Good evening, Dodie Glass, Assistant Director of Development Services. There's been no changes since first reading. I have information and presentation as needed.
Very good. Any questions, comments on this item? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of ordinance number 5103-24 on second reading on July 22nd, 2024, based on the findings that the amendment complies with the provision of Chapter 163 and Section 166.04151 Florida statutes and the city's comprehensive plan and the required amendment standards in Section 94-32 of the City of West Palm Beach Zoning and Land Development Regulations, ZLDRs.
Very good. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, can you read the ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 5103-24, an ordinance of the City Commission of the City of West Palm Beach, Florida, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of West Palm Beach, Florida at Chapter 94, Zoning and Land Development Regulations, Article 2, Organization, Administration, and Enforcement, to create Section 94-56, Affordable and Workforce Housing Application Process, Article 17, Affordable and Workforce Housing, to create regulations related thereto to be consistent with general law, declaring these amendments to be consistent with the comprehensive plan of the city, providing a conflicts clause and a codification clause and a severability clause, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 7.2, public hearing of resolution number 138-24, authorizing acceptance of federal entitlement grants in the amount of $5,201,323, approving submission of the one-year action plan for fiscal year 2024 to 2025, and authorizing execution of all agreements and related documents. Ms. Ferriel.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners, members of the public. Jennifer Ferriel, Housing and Community Development Director. As you know, the City of West Palm Beach, we are an entitlement community from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, for a variety of different funding sources to support a variety of housing and community development needs. Under the HUD entitlement programs, which are received under the Community Development Block Grant Program, known as CDBG, the Home Investments Partnership Hope Program, known as HOME, and the Housing Opportunities Programs, known as HOPWA, we have received a total of $5 million in the current allocation for fiscal year 2024, which will begin on October 1st, 2024. And as a condition of receiving those funds, we are required to put together an annual action plan that'll detail how we will be receiving those funds in that specific year. And it also will provide a framework to the residents and members of the community in terms of how the city is going to undertake these activities. We did have a public meeting, which is required by the funding sources, but we did have a public meeting both virtually and in person, which was held on Tuesday, June 11th, and there was a variety of different residents and stakeholders in the community that participated in the discussion and in the preparation of this annual action plan. Under the CDBG entitlement funding program source, we have received a little bit over $1 million. And this funding source is traditionally the most flexible one, and we have used it for a variety of different activities. And the proposed year, we are setting aside a maximum of 15% in the amount of $155,000, give or take, which will be utilized to support homeless services, particularly the staff that's at the Eva Mack building that supports homeless outreach and engagement services. We always set aside 20% for planning and administration. This gives us the opportunity to support staff time for the execution of the programs and activities that we're undertaking. And we have also set aside a greater portion of the funding in the amount of over $675,000 for public facilities and infrastructure improvements. Although it's not specifically detailed in this plan, as we want to have some flexibility, we do intend to use this funding to support the Curry Park project in the intent that additional dollars were needed for the development or the redevelopment of the park. Under the home entitlement funding, typically this funding source is utilized for housing activities, and we have received almost $500,000 to support these types of programs. We are required by the funding source to set aside 15% for projects to be undertaken by community housing development organizations known as CHODOs. So we do set aside some funding in the amount of $73,836 to support this line item. We take 10% of the overall program entitlement for program administration. Again, that's to support staff salaries and those who are going to undertake the implementation of these activities. And the bulk of the funding is set aside for new construction of housing, whether it's rental housing or homeownership housing. We have set that aside specifically for partnerships with Habitat for Humanity, Neighborhood Renaissance, and other organizations. The vast majority of the funding that is received from HUD is allocated under our Housing for Opportunities for Persons with AIDS program. Traditionally, this is a rental or a tenant-based rental assistance program that is administered by the Palm Beach County Housing Authority. We've set aside $3.3 million directly for tenant-based rental assistance. These are vouchers that are provided for individuals on a countywide basis who meet the program requirements of the HOPWA program. We set aside $85,000 for support services. That's to be able to ensure that the individuals, other than just receiving housing support, they're also getting other community services throughout the community. We set aside 7% or $150,000 for the Housing Authority to be able to utilize that funding for administration of the program. And then, of course, the city sets aside 3% for our own program administration to ensure that the recipients are adhering to all the regulations set forth by the funding source. So what's ahead? After or during this time, there is a 30-day comment period, which we are currently undertaking. Today, hopefully, we should receive City Commission approval of the proposed plan. The action plan is due to HUD on August 16th, which is 90 days prior to the beginning of the fiscal year. And should HUD approve the proposed plan, we can begin to undertake the activities and expend the funding on October 1st of 2024. And with that, that concludes my presentation, and hopefully, with your approval today, we can move forward with submitting the plan to HUD and with expending the proposed program funds. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Any questions, comments? Commissioner Lambert?
Thank you. It's been great to watch these funds get utilized through the years. I was just curious, on the 5 million, have we seen that stay pretty steady through the years? Has it gone up or down?
It goes up and down. It varies, but for the most part, it's been between the high 4 millions and the low 5 million. So it's been pretty consistent. I mean, we've seen some couple $100,000 here and there, but it's been pretty consistent in the last 10 years.
Very good. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of resolution number 138-24.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Freya. Item, well, no, we have to, this is quasi-judicial, so commissioners, I need you to make your disclosures. We'll begin with Commissioner Fox.
Thank you, Mayor. As to item 8.1, I have not had ex parte communications. I have not received written communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received expert
Your mic
opinion.
on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Okay. Commissioner Warren?
Mayor, as to item 8.1, I have not had ex parte communications, not received written communications, not conducted an investigation, not made a site visit, not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Commissioner Lambert?
Thank you. As to item 8.1, I have not had ex parte communications. I have not received written communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit, and I have not received expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made part of the record.
Commissioner Peduzzi?
Thank you. As to item 8.1, I have not had ex parte communications. I have not received written communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit, nor have I received any expert opinions. I request that these disclosures and all written communications be made a part of the record.
And I will make my disclosures in the event I have to vote. As to this matter, I have not had ex parte communications. I have not received written communications. I have not conducted an investigation. I have not made a site visit. I have not received any expert opinions. I request that these disclosures be made part of the record. Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, can you swear on all witnesses, please?
Would everyone wishing to speak on item 8.1 please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Item 8.1, resolution number 146-24, approving the replat of approximately 6.57 acres or 286,344 square feet of real property generally located at 807 North Flagler Drive as is associated with the Rosarian Academy School.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Chris Kimmerly, Senior Urban Designer. As you recall, in May of last year, we had Ordinance 504623. This was a major plan development amendment to the Rosarian Academy CSPD. This revised the campus site plan. We expanded the boundaries of the CSPD, which included the right-of-way abandonments of a portion of 7th Street and Eucalyptus, included some demolition of some structures on site to reconfigure athletic fields, and I also added new parking lots in the redesign of the campus. These revisions and construction work are currently ongoing on the school's property, and as a condition of site plan approval and for the major PD amendment, a replat was required for the property. These were the plans that were shown in May of last year. And this is the new plat itself. So this plat will consolidate all the lots associated with the right-of-way abandonments, the rezoning, and the major amendment into a single development tract, and it will also detail all the easements over the property. Staff recommends approval of Resolution 146-24 as it complies with all the requirements in sections 9444, 94-342, as well as the Chapter 177 of the Florida statutes. Any questions?
Very good. Thank you for that presentation. Any comments or questions, commissioners? Okay. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 146-24, creating the plat entitled Rosarian Academy replat. This motion is based upon the application submitted, the staff report, factual testimony, and the findings that the request complies with all applicable provisions of Chapter 177, Florida statutes, the comprehensive plan, and the standards in Section 94-342 of the city's zoning and land development regulations.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, do we have any, it's now time for comments from the public. Do we have any cards? All right, very good. We will now start with comments from the dais, and we'll begin with you, Commissioner Warren.
Thank you, Mayor James. The Sickle Cell Foundation of Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast presents Fatherhood in Digital Age, exploring the challenges and opportunities of parenting in a world dominated by technology. They are offering a free lunch and learn on Saturday, August the 17th, where fathers are invited to come out and hear ways, pros and cons of parenting during this digital age. This event will take place at Benvenuto. And it is important to go to the Sickle Cell Foundation website in order to register because space is limited. Speakers include Dr. James Green, Todd LaRue from the Center for Family Services of Palm Beach County, William DeSrevens from Youth Speak Out International, and it's hosted by Dr. J.R. Thicklin. And I would like to say that the events that occurred today were very concerning to me, where the City Hall was evacuated. And I know that often safety and security, although we want it to be proactive, quite often measures that are taken are reactive. And I'm hopeful that based on the things that we saw today, that we see that there may be some changes or revisions in protocol or policy where we perhaps can even see motion detection or things that are a heightened security for this facility and for the staff here at this building. I think that it's important that we recognize that there are always opportunities to do better and that we take advantage of those opportunities every chance that we get. And I also think that it is important that we check on our strong friends and that we look at the people in our lives and that we make sure that people are okay. There's a heightened sensitivity of different things that are going on in our society. And when we were doing the Pledge of Allegiance, it really hit differently when I was talking about I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And I think that we need to be a United States of America, and that we look forward to how we unite this country, how we unite this community, and how we move forward in a way that makes sense for all of us. So with that, I think, again, that it is important to check on the people that are close to you, check on your strong friends, check on the people that you believe are always okay, because they're usually not. And the people that we think are the strongest and have the broadest shoulders are those that carry a great deal of weight for themselves and for others. I think that the word that I would love for all of us to use as we move forward is grace, and that we need to consider grace, and we do not know what anyone encounters, but grace is free. I think that any opportunity that we have to extend grace, we should take that opportunity boldly and be as graceful to other people as we possibly can, because we do not know when we will need anyone to be graceful towards us. And the people that we are graceful towards will most likely not be the people that we're counting on to show us grace and mercy. That concludes my comments.
Thank you. Commissioner Fox.
Thank you so much, Mayor. This Thursday, July 25th at 6 p.m. will be our next CRA community meeting for the Historic Northwest. We held at the Heart and Soul Park, and this is a great opportunity to hear about all the updates going on in the neighborhood and just have a good time and enjoy the park. So would love to see all of you there. Again, that is Thursday at 6 p.m. at Heart and Soul Park. In one of our last meetings, Commissioner Lambert gave us the annual report for the Discover the Palm Beaches, and I know that all of us sit on different boards on behalf of the city, and I really enjoyed getting to hear more about what Commissioner Lambert and her team are doing on that board, and so I also wanted to share with you tonight the TPA annual report that just came out. It's great that we all have all the things that we're doing on behalf of the city, but we don't always get a chance to hear about them and learn more. I know it's a lot of time for all of us, and we're all committed and dedicated to the boards that we're serving on, but I don't always know everything that's going on with all the rest of you, so it's just a great opportunity to share, to look at the annual report. The TPA is doing a lot of great work. Obviously, this is a very instrumental time in our county for changes in transportation to come, and a lot of the planning that we're doing now, might not be noticeable for 10 years, and that's why we have to start planning now for all the things that are coming and all the people that are coming to our neighborhood. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you, and I would love to hear from the rest of you about the other boards that you're serving on when time permits. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baduzzi.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no comments this evening.
Thank you. Commissioner Lambert.
Thank you. Commissioner Fox, I appreciate this, and I like that, and I hope we can all continue that tradition. I think that that's great to share what we're each doing on these different boards. And Commissioner Warren, I share your sentiment about what can we be doing to foster a community here in the city, and that goes right in line with the first thing that I wanted to talk about, which I would encourage you all, if you haven't been, and those in the public, to our Soul in the City events. Oh my goodness. I attended the one last Wednesday, which was Mickey Smith Jr. He is a phenomenal local individual who comes to us from New Orleans. And not only is he so talented, he brought his amazing wife who had tremendous vocals, as well as his daughter who's a student at PBAU, and his son who is a high school student. And the whole family was so talented. It blew us all away, everybody who was in attendance, and I just want to encourage everyone to attend. We have 2 more coming up in this series. They are every 3rd Wednesday of the month in August and September, and tickets can be found on the city website. But I understand that they sell out quickly, so I encourage everyone to get theirs quickly and not to miss it. The other thing that I got to experience that as I'm telling people all about it, I'm hearing that maybe not everyone knows about this, but we're so lucky to have the Kravis Center as a cultural center in West Palm Beach, let alone in our community. And right now they have an immersive Space Explorers experience. I'm a little biased growing up on the Space Coast and being a NASA kid myself. It was tremendous. I had some friends who encouraged me to go and do it. It's AI, so you put on the Oculus and you are immersed into the International Space Station. And you can have an individual experience, or I went with my niece and we went into each experience together. Phenomenal. I plan on going again because it's about 45 minutes, but you can't see everything. And I would just encourage you to go and to see this. It's through September 2nd, I believe, and just amazing that we have this in our community. And I would just highly encourage everyone to take the time to go and see it. I think they do have a coupon for $10 off if you ask them about that. So I wanted to mention that I am hosting a teacher appreciation shop day. We're getting ready to head back to school. So Lululemon and City Place is hosting 25% off, which I know is a coveted discount for one of our favorite stores. But if you know any teachers, whether they are teachers at our public, private schools, our art schools, faculty, support staff, please tell them about this program. There is a QR code. I don't know if you can see that or scan it, but you do need to register, but you could always call the store and ask them to put you on the list or tell them that you heard about it here. It is next Sunday, July 28th at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., and the store is not open to anybody except for these teachers who are going during this time. And I would just, use this as a reminder to thank all of our teachers and our staff who take care of our kids all year long. And then finally, I just wanted to recognize the Esperanza Center. Tomorrow, they'll be hosting a ribbon cutting ceremony for its new location on 39th Street. I know that was something we were all excited to be a part of and to support. The Esperanza Center strives to provide necessary resources for our Hispanic community and assistance finding affordable health care, housing, legal assistance, English as a second language classes, and so much more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Just a few comments. Thank you, Commissioner Fox, for mentioning the CRA third quarter community outreach meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. On Saturday, August 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., State Representative Javante Edwards will partner with me and other local elected officials for a farm share food drive-through event to combat hunger and malnutrition in the community. It will be held at Manifest Church, located at 2275 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. There will be fresh and nutritious food for those in need on a first-come, first-served basis. Again, that's Saturday, August 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Manifest Church located at 2275 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. Professional Palm Beach County artists are invited to submit their work for the opportunity to take their art beyond the studio and into the public realm. The Art Life Committee will select 5 local artists to create new, site-specific, and theme-based temporary public artworks. The Commons, 5 artists, 5 spaces application is a 2-step process with the first deadline on August 5th. So please visit WPB.org for more details. The city and the U.S. Small Business Administration are holding a small business town hall on Thursday, August 22nd in recognition of National Black Business Month. Don't miss the chance to connect, learn, and grow your business at this dynamic town hall gathering. Hear from government leaders and industry experts on resources available to best support your business and entrepreneurial aspirations. There will be a fireside chat, panel discussion, and a Q&A session. This event is free and open to the public. Lunch will be provided, so that's Thursday, August 22nd. Thank you. And then finally, next Monday starts the 2024 Florida Back to School sales tax holiday, where certain clothing, footwear, and accessories with the sales price of $100 or less per item, certain school supplies with the sales price of $50 or less per item, learning aids and jigsaw puzzles with the sales price of $30 or less, and personal computers and related accessories purchased for non-commercial home or personal use with the sales price of $1,500 or less. All of those items are exempt from sales tax. The tax holiday begins on July 29th, 2024, and ends on August 11th. And that's all I have. Thank you very much. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the great city of West Palm Beach. Good night. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Nice.